environment to be sustainable and economic.
That will most likely have an impact on surgeries.
Coming up on Ignite News, is sexting on the rise in Hamilton?
I think it's increased everywhere with the increased use of technology.
Santa's helpers get the season started on Main Street.
Merry Christmas!
And Teen Idol takes over Mohawk College.
Different categories, including like vocal techniques, stuff like that.
Life of Pi hits theaters today, but is this flick a hit or another book-turned-movie bust? Stay tuned to find out in entertainment.
Coming up in sports, some NBA action happening last night. The Toronto Argonauts and Calgary Stampeders get ready for the big game this Sunday, and the NHL and NHLPA are set to meet today.
The big news this morning is, of course, the fog. But the good news, there's no snow in the forecast. I'll have all this and more coming up on your weather report.
Stick around, Mohawk. Your Ignite News starts now.
Good morning and welcome to your Ignite News for Wednesday, November 21st. I'm Glenn Cuthbert.
And I'm Julianne Neal. Here's what's making news. Israel has killed the commander of Hamas military wing as it launches a series of airstrikes on targets across Gaza. Palestinian officials say the attacks have killed a total of 10 people so far, including 2 girls under the age of 5. 20 people are injured. Israel authorities said earlier that the aircraft had targeted 20 facilities that served as storage or launching sites for rockets, and that the killings of Hamas military commander Ahmed al-Jabari was just the beginning. The attacks marked the biggest escalation between Israel and Gaza militants since the 2008-2009 conflict.
Hamilton homeowners are still paying the bulk of the city's taxes. The Municipal Property Tax Assessment Corporation shows about 85% of property tax revenue still comes from residential ratepayers. Most of the problem is due to the poor economy and the dominance of the property tax exempt institutions. Hamilton City Council has made it their goal to boost the city's non-residential tax base.
As part of Crime Prevention Week, Hamilton's Police Crime Prevention Branch tackles sexting. Ignite News reporter Sarah Aitchen has the story.
A recent study shows 1 in 5 young adults have sent or posted a nude picture or video. Hamilton's Crime Prevention Branch launched a presentation on November 8th about sexting and the need for awareness for the new term. Hamilton's Crime Prevention Officer, Claus Wagner, led the presentation, stressing that sexual violence through sexting is a reality in Ontario.
Really, this is where a lot of this started, was the colleges and universities, and we're finding out now that it does have serious consequences, because you're in your first year and it's all a party, and you've sent a naked picture of yourself possibly, and now you're in your 4th year and you're going out putting job applications, and they go onto Facebook and then they find out this picture and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, what did I do? Amanda Todd really brought it out there to the forefront, where everybody jumped on this and said, you know what, it's not a backroom type thing, it's not a playground thing, it's not in your bedroom by yourself with your friend or your boyfriend. It's out there and it's happening all the time.
Several students at Mohawk say they have witnessed incidents attributed to sexting.
I had a friend in high school who sent a picture to a guy and he exposed her all through Facebook.
I know lots of people that have received scandalous photos, and I've seen lots of photos that maybe I didn't really want to see that much.
As technology has advanced, has sexting within the college environment increased?
I think it's increased everywhere with the increased use of technology. It becomes easier. We need to be teaching people morals and values that teach them that sending nude photos of yourself to people really, isn't the best thing to do.
Sexting may not be as sexy as it seems. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Sarah Aitchison.
Torontonians moving west for housing bargains may have to look a little harder. A study by Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation found prices are climbing in the Dundas and central and east parts of Hamilton. The study found some prices in Flamborough, Ancaster, and Burlington are almost matching those of Toronto homes.
It's a Christmas tradition. The streets of Hamilton were filled with families welcoming a very important man from the North Pole. Ignite News reporter Glenn Cuthbert has more on Hamilton's Santa Claus Parade.
The spirit of Christmas took over the downtown streets on Saturday as Hamilton celebrated the annual Santa Claus Parade. Thousands of people line the streets watching the elaborate floats and marching bands make their way through the city. Spectators enjoyed the early start to the Christmas season.
Are you liking the parade? Yeah. Yeah, good time.
It's our first parade, so it's awesome. It's our tradition from now on. So yeah, it's good to be here.
It was good. We got a football and they threw candy up at us on top of Jackson, so it was really good. She had a good time, and it's not too cold.
The parade route started at Queen and Main Streets and made its way through the downtown core before wrapping up beside Cops Coliseum.
Merry Christmas!
Mrs. Claus says Christmas isn't just for the kids.
I absolutely loved it. All the kids, it was just great to see and be able to, spread the Christmas cheer, and not just to the children, but to the adults as well.
The parade just wouldn't be the same without the guest of honor, the Fat Man himself. Santa had a message for all the little boys and girls.
You must be good at school, be good for your mom and dad, and get to bed nice and early on Christmas Eve.
Though there may not be any snow on the ground here in downtown Hamilton, the Christmas spirit is definitely in the air. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Glenn Cuthbert. Panic hit Burlington Central High School after the discovery of a radioactive disc. The quarter-sized disc was found in a dust-covered science kit that dates back to the 1960s. The words radioactivity kit were scribbled on the side. Tests for radiation happened immediately, but it's unclear just how much radiation the disc is giving off.
The Salvation Army has fired the executive director of Toronto's warehouse after over $2 million worth of toys and food were taken over the past 2 years. CTV News is reporting that the executive director, David Rennie, was put on paid leave in September during an internal investigation. He was fired on Monday after an employee came forward with information on the theft. Criminal charges have not yet been laid.
Police are investigating the cause of a series of fires that have hit Welland in a 25-hour period. As police were investigating a fire that engulfed a dumpster behind a building at 570 King Street, they were called to another blaze in a two-story unoccupied home across the street. There have been 6 fires in the area since Monday. All the fires are being treated as suspicious.
And here's a look at today's top stories. Israel has killed the commander of Hamas military wing. Hamilton homeowners are still paying the bulk of the city taxes. And Torontonians moving west for housing bargains may have to look a little harder.
We're experiencing some colder temperatures this week. Let's check in with Lee for your weather update.
Thanks, guys. The story this morning is fog, which we are seeing across the region. Windsor is at 5 degrees with some fog patches. There's fog in London with a temperature of 2. Over in the Golden Horseshoe, the fog continues into Niagara Falls, which is sitting at 0. Toronto is a bit warmer at 5 degrees, but still has the fog. Here in the Hammer, fog with a temperature of 4. Looking at the next 24 hours in Hamilton, some cloudy periods heading into the evening with a temperature of 6 degrees. Overnight, we'll be sitting at 4 degrees with the fog making an appearance again. And then tomorrow morning, the fog will continue and the temperatures will be at 6 degrees. Taking a look at your 5-day forecast, tomorrow mainly sunny with a high of 13 and a low of 4. 9 degrees on Friday with some scattered showers and going down to 1 at night. Things get a bit colder on the weekend with some variable cloudiness. We'll see a high of 2 and a low of -3. Identical numbers for Sunday, but it will be cloudy throughout the day. And on Monday, variable cloudiness, but temperatures warm up a bit with a high of 5 and a low of 1. And that's all for your weather. Let's check in with Courtney for your entertainment update.
Thank you, Lee. The highly anticipated Life of Pi film hits theaters in Canada today. The 2001 best-selling novel by Jan Martel was turned into a 3D drama by Academy Award-winning director Ang Lee. The story starts as a man named Pi tells how he survived a disaster at sea when he was 16, when his family decided to move their zoo from India to Canada. Pi was the only human survivor, sharing his lifeboat with a zebra with a broken leg, a hyena, an orangutan, and a 450-pound aggressive Bengal tiger. The film has received raving reviews already. Even the top critics at Rotten Tomatoes have given this one a gold star. Now, Mohawk College had some vocal talent spice up the stage in the McIntyre Theatre last night. Ignite News reporter Katie Deslip was there and has the story.
Shara Garrido had the crowd dancing in their seats with her rendition of I Will Survive, which won her first place in Hamilton's Teen Idol competition held at Mohawk's McIntyre Theatre. The crowd heard a variety of songs, including the crowd pleaser I Will Always Love You. Natalie DiGiandomenico took second place with My Man. And Sarah Gervais won third place with Jar of Hearts. Judge Jordan Travis says the judges were looking at a number of elements in the winning decision.
Different categories, including like vocal techniques, stuff like that, overall performance, confidence, and basically an amalgamation of those things. So that's what we were looking for as judges, yeah.
Kelly Zarebny, the Teen Idol Master of Ceremonies, said the show has come a long way since its start over 10 years ago.
It started as a Battle of the Bands kind of event and then turned into the Teen Idol, obviously following the American Idol, Canadian Idol kind of thing.
And what did you think? Tonight's show gave Shira 4 hours of studio time to take her dreams even further. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Katie Deslip.
I've got the scoop on what else is happening here at Mohawk. Let's check it out. What's up, Mohawk? I'm Courtney McDonald, and this is your community calendar. Attention gamers, if you're into Call of Duty or FIFA, head to the cafeteria from 11 to 1 today for a video game tournament. Participation is free. Don't forget to bring your A-game. Celebrate the glory years in MC Hammer pants and neon colors. It's 90s pub night in the Arnie tonight. The party starts at 9 o'clock. Students dressed in theme get in free before 11:30, and after that it's $3. And as per usual, this is 19+. Your Friday flick this week is The Dark Knight Rises. Catch the latest Batman movie in the Arnie on Friday. Showtime is 12 to 4. Bring some popcorn and enjoy the free movie. That's a wrap. Let's head it back to the studio. Well, as you prepare for the nearing holiday season, mark Niagara Falls on your calendars as the place to be on New Year's Eve. Entertainment Tonight Canada's 4th annual New Year's Bash will pack around 40,000 people to the falls this year to say goodbye to 2012 and welcome another year. This year's headlining act, none other than Canada's own Nelly Furtado, she'll be singing away as the clock strikes 12 on January 1st. 2 fireworks displays are also in the works for the exciting evening. If you can't make it down to the falls or just don't feel like joining the 40,000 that usually attend, no worries, the event will be nationally televised. That's a wrap for me in entertainment. Let's pass it over to Dimitri with your sports update.
Thanks, Courtney. Starting things off with some basketball. 3 games went down in the NBA last night. The Philadelphia 76ers managed to pull off a fourth quarter comeback over the Toronto Raptors. the Raps had a 87-80 lead over Philly. Nick Young had 23 points off the bench, and Jason Richardson had 21 points, 6 of them in the end of the fourth quarter to give Philly the 106-98 win. The New York Knicks stayed hot over New Orleans. Carmelo Anthony led the way with 29 points as the Knicks came out on top 102-80, and the Lakers got the better of the Brooklyn Nets 95-90 in head coach Mike D'Antoni's debut. Kobe Bryant had 25 points as the Lakers won their third straight. Now for some football. The Calgary Stampeders arrived in enemy territory yesterday, as Sunday's Grey Cup game between the Argos and Stamps is just around the corner. About 2,000 fans gathered at Dundas Square to cheer on in support of the home team. The last time the Argos appeared in the Grey Cup was in 2004 when they beat the BC Lions. For the Stamps, the last time they were in the final was 2008 when they beat the Montreal Alouettes. Now, speaking of football, the Hamilton Tiger Cats will be playing their CFL games in Guelph next season. We took to the halls of Mohawk College to see what Mohawk thinks about the Cats' big move.
It's too bad they couldn't play at McMaster. You know, I understand there was some bad blood in the past over that. I don't know the details of it. I live on Barnsdale Avenue, right close to Ivor Stadium. I've actually played in Ivor Stadium in 1990, so it's going to be sad to see them go. I've been living in Hamilton since January. It would have been nice to catch a few more games. I caught a few games this year, but to break away for a new stadium, I mean, it's got to be done, right? So Guelph's a bit far, though.
I know that's probably going to be much smaller than what they're used to. So really hope they can make the adjustments and that they can continue on to do a good job, as always.
I think it's a horrible idea that they're playing at the University of Guelph this season. They should keep it in Hamilton. I'm sure they could find a place to go like McMaster or anywhere else. This is a horrible idea. I hate it.
I think it's it's very far for Hamiltonians to go all the way to Guelph. I feel it's much more, it's much better for if they were playing at McMaster or something like somewhere like there. So it'd be easier for Hamilton fans to go and see them. I think it's going to be a season that is almost like forgotten because they're over there.
Well, I think Guelph's a great place to have a season or two while the new stadium is built, and I think for 1 year it's okay.
And in the NHL lockout news, both sides are set to meet today as collective bargaining talks resume at NHL head office. The NHLPA is expected to put together an offer that includes how to split revenue and govern players' contracts. According to NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly, the Players Association led by Donald Fair have yet to offer a full proposal as far as economics are concerned. Now that's it for me with sports. Let's throw it back to Julianne and Glenn.
Thanks, Dimitri. Keep that pig on a leash. A pot-bellied pig is now in the possession of its rightful owner after the pig had ran away from its home on the Hamilton Strip beach. Hamilton police and animal control were called to the scene around 1 p.m. yesterday after reports of an unsettled pig on the beach. Animal Control Service says the pig had gotten loose from the yard of its owner and a passerby may have been bitten. A spokesperson for Animal Control says they were still investigating whether to lay charges in the regards to the report.
And that's all your news for Wednesday, November 21st. For more information, check out our website, ignitenews.ca. I'm Glenn Cuthbert.
And I'm Julianne Neal. Thanks for watching, Mohawk.